Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going to break down a really powerful idea into a simple, actionable framework that can bring a ton of clarity to your business and, honestly, to your life. So, let's just start with a big question. And this is for anyone who's ever felt totally overwhelmed by complexity, or just, too much information coming at you all at once. Is there some kind of magic number out there that can help us cut through all that noise? Okay, let's dive in. First up, we've got to talk about a situation that I'm sure many of us know all too well. It's what we call the leader's dilemma. It's that feeling of being caught in the pure chaos of having way too much to do, too much to manage, and just never enough time. And really, it all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? Do you feel like you're in the driver's seat, steering the ship with a clear vision? Or does it feel more like you're just reacting all day, constantly being pulled in a million different directions by the business itself? Now, what's so fascinating about these signs is just how universal they are. You see them everywhere, in huge companies with disconnected teams, in small businesses struggling with sales, even in our personal lives. It's that classic feeling of seeing all these big opportunities out there, but feeling like you just don't have the resources to grab them. But what is the solution? The real key to unlocking all this complexity has been hiding in plain sight this whole time. This is where we get to uncover that so-called magic number. And that number is 5. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? But it turns out this number might just be hardwired directly into our brains as the perfect tool for taming complexity. Think about it like this. 5 is our natural sweet spot. It's that perfect point where we have enough information to see the big picture, but not so much that our brains just short circuit. It's the exact intersection of clarity, our capacity to actually handle things, and that feeling of being in control. And get this, it's not just a gut feeling. It's actually backed by research in a ton of different fields. Cognitively, our short-term memory is literally built to hold about 5 items. When we're making decisions, 5 choices seem to be the magic number to avoid getting paralyzed. And you see it in team dynamics and learning, even in website design. The number 5 just works. So here's why it hits that perfect balance. If you only have 1 or 2 items to think about, you're probably missing the big picture, right? It's too narrow. 3 or 4? Yeah, that's useful. But you can still have some gaps. But 5? 5 just feels complete. It's balanced. It's perfectly human scale. Anything more than that, and we start to tip into overload. Okay, so let's see how this idea builds into a super practical framework that you can start using right away. You can think of any successful organization or project as a kind of machine, one that runs on 5 essential gears. And here they are, the 5 gears. You've got growth, that's the head, the vision, then marketing, that's your voice, how you connect, sales, that critical moment of impact, finance is how you measure and manage everything, and finally, operations, that's the engine that keeps it all moving. When all 5 of these are turning together smoothly, that's when you really build momentum. Of course, gears can't run dry. They need oil to keep from grinding to a halt. In this framework, the oil is your mindset, your leadership, and the culture you build. These things are intangible, sure, but they are absolutely essential for keeping the whole machine running without friction. So, we have the principle, we have the framework, but how does this simple number actually translate into real-world results? Let's take a look at how to put this into practice. And this is where it gets really powerful. Instead of having a dozen priorities pulling you in every direction, you focus your energy on just 5. Instead of staring at some huge, intimidating goal, you break it down into 5 actionable steps. You can build your teams around 5 key people, track progress with 5 core metrics. See the pattern? In every case, the goal is exactly the same, to keep your efforts aligned, achievable, and super easy to track. And this all brings us to the most important part, right? The transformation. This is all about moving from that state of constant overwhelm to achieving clear, deliberate outcomes. It's about being able to picture your own success. I mean, just look at this shift. You go from chaos and complexity to clarity and control, from uncertainty and stagnation to real vision and momentum, from disconnected teams to an aligned purpose. By applying this simple structure of 5, you fundamentally change your reality from just reacting to everything to a place of true intention and peace of mind. Let's just take a moment and really feel this. Imagine the confidence, the deep down confidence that comes from being in control of your financial future. Knowing exactly where you are, and even better, knowing exactly where you're going. Now, picture your teams. Imagine everyone empowered, aligned, all pulling in the same direction. Think about the incredible energy and creativity that gets unleashed when people aren't just checking off tasks, but are actively contributing to a shared vision they actually believe in. And finally, imagine this for yourself. Imagine having a system that gives you focus without all the friction, that lets you make progress without that constant grinding pressure of overwhelm. What would that actually mean for your life? So, here's the big takeaway. Complexity isn't a law of nature. It's a choice.